delighted to tell you all that Steve Coppell has come to terms with us, and partially due to his love of Reading Football Club. He really likes it here. The fans demonstrated to keep him here. I demonstrated to keep him here. We all wanted Steve to carry on working here because he has done such an excellent job, and he's now got a job to complete, i.e. getting us back into the Premiership again. Obviously now we find ourselves in the Championship, we're going to have to reshape things. We're going to have to cut our coat according to the cloth, so it will mean there will be some changes here. But by and large we're trying to keep the same excellence going that we've been used to for a very long time.
Well, one back though. Now Shane Long will retrieve possession. Jem Karacan, nice ball from him. Oh, good play from Rosinha down the right-hand side. Goes past his defender. Got options ahead of him inside the box. One of them's Kebe! That's a good finish. And a lovely goal. Hunt, just inside the Dons' half. Nice ball from him. You'll find Kebe out on that right-hand side. Kebe looks back in field for Hunt. Takes a touch on the left. Shoots with the right. And that's 2-1 to Reading. Good goal. Well worked. And gives it back. Doyle will cut inside. Finds his strike partner Lita. Good layoff from him. Comes to Harper. Deflected. Off the post. Karacan. And that's 1-0. Only his second touch. He's been on the pitch. 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
On English football's roller coaster, it was Forest on the up last season.
Nottingham Forest back up to the Championship.
That's amazing. I didn't think we was going to get out of that league.
Incredible. Absolutely amazing.
Pinch me, has it really happened?
Probably the best emotion I've felt since Cologne.
While Reading dropped to division.
Reading are down.
We weren't such a bad team last time round.
Safely Coppell's hands.
Getting back up's the key.
Getting up is more fun than staying there and finishing 16th.
Both sides will be looking for a smooth ride this time as they start their climb to the Premier League.
What a wonderful goal!
We're at the City Ground where Nottingham Forest haven't lost an opening fixture for 25 years. They're up against relegated Reading.
Steve, you're up against a newly promoted side who've spent a lot of money this summer. How tricky an opening fixture do you feel this could be?
Oh, very tricky. Team promoted, as you say, used to winning at home. Added to the squad in the summer. You know, they're going to be a club with ambition to be at the top end of the table rather than at the bottom end.
8 of your starting lineup today helped you win promotion 3 years ago. To what extent do you feel the drive, the ambition is still there in this side?
Well, I think when you're being relegated, then automatically it's in every professional's nature to want to put things right, and you know it's very much the feel of our dressing room at the moment. You know, we just came down on goal difference, but we very much feel now our route back is by performing over the next 9 months, and that starts with today.
All the supporters of both these clubs, 24 hours of watching and waiting while the others in the Football League opened hostilities yesterday. Well, the wait nearly over for them now, and so too for the two lineups. Let's have a check on those now for you. Plenty of comings and goings through the doors here at the City Ground, but an injury drinks has struck in the striking department. Andy Cole, Joe Garner from Carlisle, and Paul Anderson on loan from Liverpool, all unavailable attackers. Nathan Tyson out as well, so the weight of goal-scoring responsibility falls on the shoulders of Rob Earnshaw, the biggest piece of Championship business this summer at 2.65 million. Another new signing it's hard to miss in midfield, the big Frenchman Guy Moussi. So a mix of the new and the young. All but 2 of this side are under 25, all of them under 30. Reading without injured Michael Dubry, the recently departed Nicky Shorey, and the Olympian Andre Biki. So Ibrahima Sonko, sent to Coventry at the end of last season, is called upon here in Nottingham. Stephen Hunt fills in a somewhat unfamiliar left-back role, and in the heart of midfield, Czech international Marek Matyjowski is over a thigh injury. He partners James Harper. Not too much upheaval in the summer then. 7 of this starting lineup played in the final day win against Derby last season. 7 also played in the last game they played in the Championship 3 years ago. A look at the benches, sees plenty of youth on there. Ian Brecken at 33, the oldest on the Forest bench. All the others former trainees, and at least 12 years his junior. Keep an eye out on the on the Reading bench, I should say, for Alex Pearce and Julian Kelly, both highly thought of teenagers. All the talking, all the training, all the preparation, you can do that all right. But that's all about to stop and the real action to start, to see what sort of response the two managers get from their players. Forest with their first promotion in a decade, Reading their first relegation in the same time, and they come together here on the opening weekend at the City Ground. Manchester United since adding a third European crown, of course. Forest hoping that this is the beginning of the next step for them to get back to where they once belonged.
So important for Forest, you know, to have a good start. Really calm.
Earnshaw doing his best to try and give them that. He's always lively. He's waiting in the middle. Earnshaw frantically back was Hunt to block away. And they had dreams of a perfect start there, Nottingham Forest. Not over yet as Chambers fires it back in, away by Harper. To take again. On by Kebe. Convey. Smuggled it through for Doyle. Ingemarson. Kebe! Oh. Wonderful save from Smith. He was offside anyway, but Smith didn't know it.
The ball comes in here. It's a decent ball from Ingemarson. He's offside. Defender with his hand up in the air, which stops him getting the elevation. Head it clear and then complain. So, yeah, everybody has ideas of grandeur and the grass is always greener, but sometimes not so.
Doyle looking for Lita. Rosignol. You only need to go along the A52 to Derby to see that. This is an excellent run from Jimmy Kebe. Doyle looks to continue the momentum. The big Wes Morgan carries clear for Nottingham Forest. Cohen. Support from Chambers. Decides not to use it and opens it up for himself. Now Musi. Oh. Goodness me, he hit that. Oh. Down goes Sonko. Well, he'll need a count there because that was rifled into his head. They play on Earnshaw offside.
There was a little bit of a delay and he wobbled and he went down in stages. Yeah, he must have felt that because it was a tremendous strike from Musi, who's not renowned for his goals. I think 3 goals in 95 games in France, but we see that there. Dear me.
The legs have gone. Musi. Earnshaw, space to shoot. Oh, wasn't far wide.
Nice bit of play by Musi there, step over. Lays it to Earnshaw. He sees he can't get any height on it. He tries to use the player as a screen for the goalkeeper, and as Hanneman scrambling and just goes past that post.
Helped in by Chambers. Sonko as far as Musi. Took a deflection, they'll get the corner here, Nottingham Forest. Big moment this perhaps for Nottingham Forest. Lewis McGugan, the 19-year-old from Long Eaton, with the responsibility. Wall does its job. McGugan keeps it alive. Terrific piece of defending that by Ivar Ingemarson.
As Notts Forest stepped up the tempo there. Just the game was going in a bit of a lull.
Hunt, brilliant work from Stephen Hunt. Leroy Lita, Harper, taken off his toes by Keeby, shot in by Cisse. Well, as it was taken away from Harper, was that the best moment of the move?
Absolutely, and he's left a flea in the ear of Cisse there. See the ball drifted in, does well at the knee post, Lee to get across, and you just see Cisse took it off his toe to lay it back where Harper was just going to swing that left foot of his.
Leroy Lita. Stephen Hunt. Doyle! Oh, what a tremendous save!
What an
astonishing from Smith!
Fantastic save. That is a world-class save. Well, we had an absolutely terrific ball whipped in there by Hunt. Fantastic header by Doyle. Look at that save, it's behind him. Unbelievable save. It was right in the corners behind him. He's tipped it onto the bar. Fantastic. Is it any wonder that he kept 25 clean sheets all comps last year?
Earnshaw, plenty of movement ahead of him. Rob Earnshaw wants to do it all himself. Earnshaw!
Oh! He just slipped at the final, just as he about to execute it. If you have a look there, tremendous pace, and because of that, because he's a full tilt sprinting, he couldn't just settle himself there. And we see his standing foot just slip away from him.
In the 94th minute of the match. Hunt. Comby.
Talked about Harper, but it's Moosey who's
no goals at the City Ground, but chock full of entertainment and encouragement. Nottingham Forest 0, Reading 0.
Well, Steve, you're looking for a response from your players to relegation. What do you think of the response you got today?
No, I wasn't looking for a response for relegation. I was looking forward to a foundation for this season, whatever it may bring. And I think today, quite often when you're waiting sort of 5.5, 6 weeks for a game, it can be a little bit of a damp squib in terms of a spectacle. But from my point of view, the players worked very hard for each other, and you know, we had a couple of promising situations, one outstanding save from their goalkeeper. So all in all, you know, we're okay with the situation.
Terrific save 10 minutes from time. What do you remember of it, and how pleased were you with it?
Yeah, I was pleased. It was just a good cross from out wide and a header, and I was just lucky enough to get a fingertip onto it and turn around and just grazed off the bar, and the defender's there to clear it away. So from that point of view, I was happy.
Hunt. Deep cross towards Shane Long. Against the post and in. James Henry with the final touch as Reading take the lead. Prospects here for Dagenham and Redbridge, maybe. There's Solomon Taiwo. Oh, he scores! Great strike from Taiwo. And Dagenham and Redbridge are back on level terms. 22 minutes left in the game. And you wouldn't back against a Dagenham and Redbridge winner either. Long in space. He's gone past Uddin. Here's Hunt. Noel Hunt scores for Reading. Steve Coppell's side have done it. Just a minute left in normal time. And Noel Hunt grabs the winner on his Reading debut.
Here is Stephen Hunt as Reading look for the goal to settle the nerves. Corner comes in. And there is the goal that settles the nerves. Ibrahima Sonko, the big centre-back, not scored for 18 months. Well, he has now. Reading 1, Plymouth 0. There's the ball in and the towering header from Sonko. Here goes Stephen Hunt again. Can we have a repeat performance? 1-0 to Reading at the Medeski. Hunt's ball in. It's a good one, and there is Sonko again. And there is 2-0, the same two. Hunt's cross, Sonko's finish. And Reading are in control. The ball in, leaping header. Where was the marking? And Sonko in for his second.
When Reading left the Championship, they were so good they were promoted by March. Many of the same players are still around and kicking today. Charlton underperformed last season, and 2 defeats in a week in the Carling Cup and League have dampened optimism around the Valley. They need a boost today. In the Coca-Cola Championship, it's Charlton Athletic against Reading, live from the Valley. Reading keep the same team which beat Plymouth last week. Marcus Hanneman plays his 81st straight league game in goal. He's kept more than 100 clean sheets for Reading. James Harper is also making his 81st league game in a row for the Royals, a man much in demand. Middlesbrough apparently have expressed strong interest.
Talking of a challenge, what challenge do you feel you face here at the Valley today?
Well, we know it's going to be tough. You know, Alan Pardew, we know very well, obviously an ex-manager of Reading. I'm sure he'll be preparing his troops to have a real go at us. And that's what we expect, I suppose, as a relegated team. Everyone wants to use us as some kind of a yardstick. For our case, we've got to be sort of insular and look within and just take care of our own game without getting involved in anything else.
Today, of course, you're up against your old club and a former manager. How much have you been looking forward to this particular fixture?
Well, it's a fixture that the fans don't let me forget, and I'm sure they won't today. The Reading fans, that is. I'm looking forward to it because it'll be a great game. I think Steve's team's set up the same as myself. We're on the front foot, we're trying to win the game, and I think that's always a good attitude to bring to a football match.
You mentioned Alan, he was your player at Crystal Palace for several years. What's it actually like to cross swords with him now as a manager?
Well, I do it a few times this year. You know, there's quite a few with Chris Coleman and others. I don't know. I always think it's a buzz for any manager when you see players go on and do good things, and then when you see players graduate and become managers, then you think, well, that's really good. And I take great joy in any of my players who've gone on to management in football and who are doing well. So Alan's ticked all the boxes so far.
Steve, thanks for your time.
Cheers, thank you.
Well, Charlton moved out 15 players in the summer, and it's a new-look side with 3 changes to today after defeat at Watford last week. In-come model pro Matt Holland, teenage left-back Grant Basie, and Moroccan-born right-back Hassan Moutawakil, with Rakan injured, Yuga suspended, and Semedo dropped. The Vultures have been hovering around relegated Reading, but most of the Premier League side are still on board, even though Dave Kitson and Nicky Shorey have gone. Stephen Hunt's doing well as an emergency left-back. 5 of this side were away in midweek on international duty at various faraway places with strange-sounding names. The Charlton bench includes their youngest ever player, 16-year-old John Joe Shelby. Darren Ambrose is back from injury. Reading deciding not to blood their new signing, David Mooney, the Irish League top scorer, yet another signing from Cork City. They'll have to wait to see him.
They've started the season well, to be fair to them, and look like one of the favourites to go back up.
And just speaking to one of the Reading players beforehand, he said, we're looking to get back to where we belong, but they're going to have to earn it. They're unbeaten so far this season. Charlton won their first home game. It's an attractive-looking match. Here's Lloyd Sam. Ingy Marson got it away. Bailey, who does have an eye for goal. In fact, he was Southend's top scorer last season from midfield. Here's KB. Looking to run the teenager Basie. Lovely trick. KB, chance! An important save that by Weaver, but a really good piece of play down the right by Jimmy KB.
Look at KB here. Lovely bit of ability. Drives it near post, but Weaver stays big. Stays on his feet to the last minute.
Bailey. Buatsa given lots of time to control that. Took advantage, and it's a great run. Hamu Buatsa! Oh, it shaved the post. In fact, it hit the post on its way out. An electric piece of play by the winger.
What a ball by Bailey yet again. Look at this for ability. Sonko should have closed him down there. Didn't. Allowed him to run at him. Gets in the box. Can't touch him. Outside of the left foot. And that just scrapes the outside of the post. Can't touch him when he gets in there. Terrific ability here. Just cannot curl it with the outside of his foot in that bottom corner. Been impressive so far, Charlton.
Athletic. It cost the club £400,000. They have hopes that he might settle into a really good attacking right back for the club this season. Buatsa now. Nice and positive, those two players. Nearly found Buatsa again. It's still made! And it broke through in the end to goalkeeper Hanneman, who was grateful to grab that. Moutawakil wide to Sam. Those two working well down the right-hand side. Here's Moutawakil into a good area, and the goalkeeper got his tips to it. Couldn't quite fall to Varney. Charlton were nearly in business. They still might be. Varney deflected. This time it is in, and it's Matt Holland with his first goal at the Valley for 4 years.
What about Moutawakil again? Hanneman loses it, I think, in that shade, but it's put right across. Now it's put it to a good area. Deflection just deceives Hanneman there, but a good midfield player like Holland, he gambles. You see, just gets a slight deflection off the heel. That deflects it enough, and Holland, full of experience, follows the ball in, expects something to happen. Simple tapping, but you have to believe that that is going to happen.
Sam could make a run into that area down the right-hand side. The Charlton supporters, who might have been a bit downbeat, will be encouraged, but they've got work to do defensively here. Here's Doyle to play one in for Reading. All the way to Keevy, who got on the end of it, and Weaver had to get down sharpish. Here's Jimmy Keevy. Convey and Doyle on the turn, goes down in the penalty area, and it is a penalty. Reading get a penalty.
And we see it's rebounding off legs. There's the contact there. Difficult to see from that angle. He gets the ball away. There is contact there.
Kevin Doyle with the penalty kick. Looking for his first goal of the season. Up against Nicky Weaver. And he's hit the bar with it. Charlton escape. Played back in again. And smuggled away. It's still bouncing around dangerously, and Mutawakil is happy to give away the corner. Real drama there.
Well, goes for power, just smashes it down the middle. You just wonder how fragile his confidence is with the lack of goals. He's got to recover from that now.
This is Basie, the teenage left back. Good ball for Buatsa. Both strikers waiting in the middle. Here's the cross. Gray with the header! Difficult because he had to put all the power on it himself, and he couldn't get quite enough. Sam. To wait a long time for his chance at Charlton. Varney, lovely turn of pace, goes down in the box. The referee takes a look at it, and he's not going to give a penalty on this occasion. Was he going to say it's outside? Is he? What's he giving here? He's pointing to the spot, you know. Well, he ran over there. He had a look at the scene, the crime scene, you could say, and said penalty.
Well, here he goes. Unleashes the pace there. Where's the... Oh, that is so close. Little nudge. Is he in the box? There's the arm. And there's the heavier arm. And the linesman had a good view of it. I thought he was running across to ask him.
Sonko's little nudge on Varney, but the ref's given it. Penalties at either end. Reading couldn't take theirs. Can Andy Gray do it for Charlton? You bet he can. 2-0.
He can take a penalty. That's how to do it. Bottom corner. Terrific. But I'm sure there'll be questions asked. Nothing wrong with that. He can only go and put it away. I'm sure Reading won't be pleased. I think it was the distance the referee was away from the actual incident.
But it's Reading with the corner here. They need something. It's been a nightmare half for them, really, one way and another.
Well, a missed penalty. One that they're going to question as well.
Convey played in there, and the header is a beauty. Sonko again. He got 2 last week, and that was a picture book header from the big defender.
Well, he's atoned for the penalty, hasn't he? This is just absolute perfection. Not the best corner, wasn't dealt with very well. The slow coming out now. Nobody presses the ball yet again. One look, just puts it in the danger area. Too deep for me, and allows Sonko to do what he does so well. Look how he attacks this. 2 against 1. And the blue and white one wins hands down.
Hunt with the in-swinging ball. Kebe looked to flick it on the near post. Bouncing around dangerously. Charlton scramble it away. Well, they can't get out at the moment. Rosinia lays this forward. Hunt's gone out to the right-hand side, still there from the corner. Weaver, they clapped it into him. And it's going to be a... What's he giving here, Lee Mason?
Has he done?
What has he done here? He's not given another penalty, has he? Weaver looks dumbfounded. He has, you know.
He has.
That is a stop. I can't believe that one. I really can't believe that.
Well, here comes the ball into the box. There's the arm round. It is. He's got it right this time, I think, the referee. The arm was definitely round Lita.
Doyle's not going to take this one. It's going to be Stephen Hunt this time. Can Hunt do it for Reading? No, he can't. Not even at the second attempt. Reading have missed 2 penalties.
I don't think Leroy Lita will be... Oh, he's going to retake it. Well, there's a save. And there's the follow-up.
This penalty is going to be retaken. The drama here at the Valley is unending. Talk about a spot of bother.
Here it comes. There's his movement. He's off the line before it's hit. Not a good penalty, you have to say.
He's showing a lot of guts, but the pressure's on him really to score, and he's done it this time. Great character from Stephen Hunt, and Reading are level, but there is uproar here at the Valley. The debate's going on around the ground about some big decisions.
Well, you've got to give him credit. Cool as a cucumber this time. Although he takes his time this time, places it rather than going down the middle.
Saw that, watch that one, it's a bit of a running battle, I think. Varney, whoa, good effort, tipped over the bar by Hanneman.
Well, full of confidence there, Jinks inside, unleashes one, and that is a good save. Did it get a deflection? It does get a deflection, and that makes it an even better save. Just a little jink, there's the shot, there's the deflection, and that's going to dip in.
Bailey, good ball, nice football that. Varney nearly gets on the end of it, goes down in the box. Referee takes a look, says no this time. Sam, Varney with a header, oh, terrific goal! Wonderful goal from Luke Varney, 3-2 Charlton.
It bounces loose here, not the best clearance you have to say, but it's put back in the right area. Look how behind it is there, just slightly, and look how far he is out here. Near the penalty box, similar to Sonko, and he generates as much power and just puts it back to where it come from. Terrific textbook header, we've seen two in this match of the highest quality, and the flu has suddenly disappeared.
Lloyd Sam, to back post, lovely ball, and that's for Buatsa. Flag stays down, Reading appeal for offside, but Hammer Buatsa, with his first goal for nearly a year, makes it 4-2 here.
Look at this ball in. There it comes, he's not offside, waits, and he still has a lot to do there. It's a lovely ball, floated to the far post, they get sucked across, it's not offside, the arm went up, we can see it's not. Delivery, spot on, quality, absolutely top draw. Magnificent finish.
Last season,
you see the ball there, the crossfield ball, that's what two wingers give you, that ability.
Buatsa in there, Gray! Off the underside of the bar! Otherwise it would have been 5. Flag was up anyway. Goodness me. Well, for Charlton Athletic, who've nearly made it 5, and they've got something on here. It's going to be a free kick. I'll tell you what, Sonko, he's in trouble. He's already had one. He's gone. Red card.
Here you see, Buatsa just gets there and he goes through. There's the referee's view. Again, Buatsa just gets the toe end. He lunges in. Not a great deal of contact, but you can't lunge in like that when you're on a yellow card.
What a day here. Oh, and this time it's Cisse. Seems to be a game of about 100 chances.
It's just end to end, isn't it? There's nothing in midfield at the moment.
Charlton complain. The whistle goes though. Lee Mason giving 3 penalties, ordering one to be retaken. The old buddies, Messrs Pardew and Koppel, shake hands.
Stephen Hunt will whip it in, left-footed. Oh, there's no Hunt! And the two brothers combine for Reading. Stephen Hunt with a corner, his younger brother Noel beating his man to the ball, and Reading lead with 11 minutes gone. Reading apparently happy to play the ball around on the edge of their own area. Here's Long. Flag stays down for Noel Hunt. Here comes Stephen Hunt. Oh, they've done it again. Noel Hunt returns the favour. His brother set him up for the opener. Now his pass is converted by Stephen Hunt. And Reading lead Luton by 2-0. Here's Emmanuel. His ball is towards Watson. Oh, what a good save! And again, Federici preserving the 2-goal cushion. Plenty of blue and white shirts forward. There's Pearce. Well, that's it. Reading are into the 3rd round of the Carling Cup. Alex Pearce with a towering header from Henry's corner. And Reading can bring it away. Oh, look at the space on the far side. Luton could be in big trouble here. Here's Karakan. 2 goals in just over a minute. And Luton are falling apart. Cem Karakan finishing from close range. Here's James Henry. He's had such a good game for Reading this evening. Here's Karakan. Oh, nice through ball. He's picked out the run of Noel Hunt. Flag stays down. There's Henry. Reading have a 5th goal. It comes from James Henry. Long ball in the direction of Plummer. Kelly is there. Luton man managing to win it back though. And foul, says the referee as he shrugged off his marker. There's Plummer again. Charles. Luton have pulled one back with 10 minutes to go. Ryan Charles on target for the away side.
Never mind the past, it's now that matters. And Steve Coppell, though never to be forgotten as a leader of Palace, sends out a team against them with an eye on Reading's future. Having lost Ibrahima Sonko to Stoke and Khalifa Cisse to injury this week, he gives full league debuts to teenagers Alex Pearce and Cem Karakan. And there's also a debut at left-back for midweek acquisition Chris Armstrong, a long-time employee at Sheffield United of Neil Warnock. Warnock, one of whose best documented bust-ups was on this ground, makes 2 changes to last week's team. Calvin Andrews managed to impress in the midweek League Cup drubbing and plays, as does teenager Lee Hills. Palace alone in the Championship haven't scored a league goal yet, so new signing from Ipswich, Alan Lee, may well get a run from the bench. John Medeski, the Reading chairman, out in the Berkshire sunshine, making sure the fans are behind the team. Turning here is Tom Sawes, and now Calvin Andrew. Palmed up by Hardiman. Onto the crossbar. It was a bit of a flappy moment for the American goalkeeper, who is amongst the most composed on most occasions. Rossignol having a very, very good game. Aimed in at Doyle and Hunt! And Harper! The skipper's goal for Reading. Made in no small part by the penetrative and pacey run of the right full-back Rossignol, who simply skinned Hills. Delivered invitingly first for Doyle, then for Hunt, then unmissably for Harper. Hunt's delivery off the inside of the post, chased in by Karakan and chased away by Derry. Hunt's in swinger, got a bit of a touch and it was touched onto the post too. Again, and Pearce! It's a decent stop from Smaroni. Sawes, Andrew. Hills going in there, and Carl struck a hand, penalty. Very well placed, the referee, to witness Nick Carl's drive. Thunder against the outstretched hand of James Harper. Nick Carl, 5 hours and 5 minutes into their championship season. Crystal Palace have their first championship goal. Rossignol, Doyle. Up by Hill, down by Long. Doyle, good try! Oh, wonderful save. fantastically acrobatic from Julian Speroni after a brilliantly self-keyed shot by Kevin Doyle. Won by Lee. Aimed in at Source. 2-1 Palace. Crystal Palace fans uplifted, and Tom Source in particular jubilant. Hunt's corner. 2-2. Doyle. What a fabulous game this is. Thrill a minute. Kevin Doyle's first goal of the season. As simple a finish as Kevin Doyle has ever applied. And it's all square once more. Harper's corner, and Speroni has flapped. And Caracan played it in! And Doyle turned it over the line! And Reading have come from behind in a trice to lead 3-2! He's not enjoying it. They are for sure. And Kevin Doyle is having a fabulous afternoon. Hunt's corner. Back in for Doyle! Hat-trick! Three goals for him. 3 points for Reading. A thoroughly engrossing afternoon, and for Steve Coppell, a thoroughly satisfactory one. Pearce did very well at the back post, and Doyle did the rest in front of goal. His throw, Mitchell towards Scannell. Oh, what a fabulous game of football. Thoroughly engrossing contest. What a thoroughly entertaining team Steve Coppell's Reading are going to be in the Championship this year. Kevin Doyle's second half hat-trick sealed it, and he's stolen the match ball to prove it. No one else will get their hands on that. In the Berkshire sunshine, enjoyment all round. Reading have 7 points out of 12. Palace still don't have a win. It's finished here, Reading 4, Palace 2.
Yeah, I don't mind, whether it's 33 yards or 3 yards. I had a volley from outside the box, tipped out the top corner, which I probably would have taken for the 3. But I take 1 yard, take half a yard. You have to be there to put them.
If you were playing against Bodmin or Saltash and you conceded 3 goals from corner kicks, you'd lose to them as well. And we couldn't defend at corners. And Kevin Doyle never get an easier hat-trick in his life. You might look at it from being good from his own point of view, but from our point of view, it was a disgrace, really.
You've got 5 strikers now, so each of them, when they play, it's incumbent upon them to deliver, isn't it?
It sounds easy, doesn't it? No, it's a competitive world.
And presumably you're hoping that your phone won't ring between now and Monday midnight, are you?
It just fell out of my pocket and broke. I don't know what happened. It just, it only fell a couple of feet, but it smashed into smithereens. So I phoned straight away. I'm sure they'll send one maybe early next week sometime.
Up goes Quinn. Here's Kenyago. Hits it first time! Oh, that's the second time they've hit the woodwork. Stead. Well, a chance out of nothing, really, by Kenyago. Balkestein's free kick's a decent one. Walter's header. Here's Stead. John Stead! What a way to mark your debut. Lisby. That's where they've shifted it to. Quinn. And Lisby stays on side. Faced by Rossignol. Quinn. Walters! Well, they'll decide to keep possession, but that's it. Ipswich have finally got a win in the league at home.
Thrown on the far side, which Rossignol will take. Reading, of course, with a 100% record at the Medeski so far this season. Rossignol continues his run forward. It's a cheeky ball in. Noel Hunt into the middle. It's Kevin Doyle. It's the opening goal. 5 minutes played, and Reading have the lead. The Royals making it look so easy. just looked up. There were two to choose from. Stephen Hunt just behind, but Doyle in the best position. A simple tap in. Might break here. KB boxing himself in a little bit. Might get the return as well. It's broken down. Oh, the whistle hasn't gone. It's Doyle again. It's 2 in 10 minutes. It's Kevin Doyle. His 5th of the season. 4 orange shirts black there for Sheffield Wednesday, and they couldn't keep him out. And even the Lion joins in. Harper standing over this one, leaves it for Stephen Hunt. It's a deep ball to the far post, and the header's there. It's BK, and it's 3. Really good set piece. The celebrations from the Cameroonian. Hunt got perfect lift and power on that, but what a header from Andre BK. Chance here maybe, and the shots parried away from Hanneman. Had to get down low. Good effort. Hanneman punts the goal kick forward. Little flick on here. Oh, 1-on-1 with the keeper. It's in. It's Noel Hunt. It's 4. Lee Grant came off his line and the ball went right under him. It all stemmed from a goal kick, this. And Reading are 4-0 up. Does well. Time to turn maybe. Doyle had his shirt pulled a little bit as well. Still Doyle. It's in. It's the hat-trick for Kevin Doyle. It's his 2nd hat-trick of the season. Tenacious, composed, and a class finish, and they are delighted. They're all over the place here, Sheffield Wednesday. There's a chance for a 6th, is there? There is. It's Noel Hunt. It's his 2nd. It's Reading's 6th. And Sheffield Wednesday have been well and truly hammered here at the Medeski. Backpedaling all the time. Hunt was through, and once he was there, he wasn't going to miss. Into the path of Hunt, who flights it in for Long, the substitute. Oh, it could have been a sensational 7th. Would you believe it? Well, what an evening at the Medeski. 6-0 to Reading.
Hunt's corner is a decent one. And it's off. Wow, what a good save. Pinball in the box. And there's been plenty for Scott Loach to do since he came on there. And what's happening here? Suddenly, the referee is having a word with John Harley, and a card is about to be produced. And we can only suggest that's for something that's been said. In fact, he's given the goal. Well, if you want high drama and controversy, you've got it here at Vicarage Road. John Harley's kick, up in the air. Williamson, O'Toole, out by Armstrong. Back in by Williamson. Back out by Armstrong. O'Toole, can Smith turn? He can, and scored! Tommy Smith makes it 1-1. Reading couldn't get it clear, and Tommy Smith makes them pay. Watford back in business. Both the youngsters warming up on the far side as far as Watford are concerned. Here's Hoskins and O'Toole. John Joe O'Toole, 2-1. Reading caught napping again, and would you believe it, the Hornets are in front. Where shall I throw it? Stephen Hunt provides the outlet finally. Long gets in the way, and the referee points to the spot for the challenge by John Eustace. The controversy continues at Vicarage Road. The referee makes sure nobody's encroaching in the box. Here comes Hunt, it's 2-2. Reading are back level.
Lawrence's corner. Pericard! 1-0 Stoke. Oh, just 9 minutes gone. And Vincent Pericard gives the home side the lead. Federici gets plenty of distance on it. Stoke can't quite clear. Here's Lita. Oh, BK went down and the referee points to the spot. James Henry on the stroke of half-time scores. Reading a level. Composed penalty from James Henry. Corner comes in. Whelan's shot deflected to Sadebe. Mamadi Sadebe puts Stoke ahead for a second time on the evening after Whelan's shot took a double deflection and fell nicely for him. Stoke 2, Reading 1. There's Kelly for Reading. Into Lita. Henry. Oh, great goal! James Henry has his second of the night. He's hauled Reading level for the second time this evening, this time with 15 minutes remaining. It's 2-2 here. Ricardo Fuller scores. Can BK find the net? He can. 1-1 in the shootout. Liam Lawrence finds the back of the net. Oh, he saved it! Clem Whelan. 3-1. Calmly done by Sigurdsson. Oh, Buxton misses the target. Long thunders it down the middle. Pericard scores. Lita for 4-4. Oh, it's a shocking penalty. Goes down the stairwell, very nearly.
Stephen Hunt, who's so dangerous with his left-footed corners, and there's his brother Noel, and the Hunts have done it again, and Reading, after 19 minutes, are 1-0 up. Stephen Hunt with another brilliant ball in, and Noel Hunt with the powerful head up past Doris de Vries. Growing in confidence, here's Stephen Hunt. Lovely football from Reading. In it goes. Cleared this time, could still come. Kevin Doyle's there! And Reading double their advantage. 7 minutes after taking the lead, Kevin Doyle makes it 2. Not dealt with well at all by the Swansea defence. And Doyle pounced on the loose ends. Really nice stuff in this first half so far. Looking for a third to effectively kill the game off before half time. Lovely footwork. Now, is there an end product? Stephen Hunt's coming in! There certainly is! It's 3-0 Reading, and 3 goals in 19 first half minutes have surely ended this one. Lovely flowing move. Good cutback. And Hunt didn't miss. The Medeski is a happy place at the moment. It's going to be Jordi Gomez! Super strike! How unlucky can you get? And Reading eventually clear. For all of Swansea's possession in this second half. Only that Gomez chance of note. Here's Stephen Hunt. Reading looking to finish it. It's Doyle in! Kevin Doyle makes it 4. 2 for him. And 3 points for Reading. Another lovely move involving Stephen Hunt. He's made 2 and scored 1 now. And Doyle finished it well.
It'll be Stephen Hunt to take the corner with 4 minutes gone here at Molineux. He can bend them in with his left foot. That's exactly what he has done, and it's been diverted towards goal. It came off Wayne Hennessy. Well, there's plenty of Reading players celebrating when it'll go down as an own goal. Here's Hunt. Oh, and it's cleared off the line. They're appealing it, actually went over. But the referee not interested at all, and now Wolves can counter. Reading desperately getting numbers back. Wolves getting men forward. Now it's Keogh. Good save, Hanneman. He stood his ground, the Reading goalkeeper. Hunt to take the corner. Again, it's got real bend on the ball. And they're really struggling to get it clear. It's Doyle. Hennessy scrambling to get back. BK was in there and it's off the post. How has it stayed out? Hennessy with a wonderful save as well. This time Hunt goes short. He'll get it back again as well. Reading threatening to make it 2 here. That's a lovely ball in there and it's headed home. It's Andre BK. His second goal of the season, and didn't he enjoy it? Look in the mood for more goals here, Reading, even in the closing stages. Khalifa Cisse, and it's 3. And Wolves are condemned to their first league defeat of the season.
Here's Stephen Hunt, looking to get the Royals off to a flyer. Could still be dangerous. Back in it goes to Noel Hunt. Oh, brilliant header. And Reading have the lead. And Noel Hunt is proving to be a brilliant summer signing from Steve Coppell. Injured for his troubles, but I'm sure he won't mind when he gets up and realises he's scored. Brave header. And Hunt does get to his feet. There's his brother Stephen to offer congratulations. Second would really put Steve Coppell's men in control here at the Medeski. That's a good ball into Stephen Hunt to the far post. And Stephen Hunt follows on from his brother Noel's example and scores to make it 2-0 to Reading. The two who are having bets to see who can score more goals are both on the score sheet this afternoon now. And Reading are 2-0 up. Such a tough place to come, the Medeski. Reading have this 100% home record. They're looking to continue that today. Here's Doyle, a third would almost guarantee it continues! And there it is! And Shane Long scores, and Reading are 3-0 up and will take home the 3 points this evening. Doyle did really well. Shows he can create as well as score. And the fellow Irishman, Shane Long, puts the finishing touch on the move. And Reading beginning to look like a dominant force in this division. That's a good ball into Chris McCann though. And Burnley do have a consolation. And McCann has scored. Super ball in from the left-hand side. And McCann makes it 3-1. Stephen Hunt over this free kick. Whips in such a dangerous ball. There's another one. And Reading are inches away from taking the lead here at Deepdale. Patient build-up. That's lovely play. Plenty in the area. Here's Noel Hunt, goes into the area. Was he fouled by Shaunson Ledger? Yes, he was, says the referee. And Noel Hunt has won a penalty for Reading. Referee makes sure everybody is in the correct positions. Upset Stephen Hunt. Sends the keeper the wrong way. It's 1-0 to Reading. Coolest head in the stadium. Fine penalty. And Reading have the early advantage. Preston launch an attack of their own. Been under the cosh for much of this match so far, in all honesty. That's a good ball forward. Ingemarson goes up there. Oh, it's a real error. A real mix-up between Ivar Ingemarson and his goalkeeper Marcus Hanneman. It was a good ball in. No communication whatsoever. And Ingemarson scores an own goal. Nicholson caused the confusion. It's 1-1. Can Preston come from behind to snatch all 3 points. Banged upfield, that's a superb touch. Goes for goal as well! What a save. Outstanding from Parkin though. Lovely touch, an excellent shot. And he is so unlucky not to have put Preston North End into the lead. Will be a corner. Ross Wallace, the left footer, is over it. In it goes, Hanneman comes, oh, doesn't get anywhere near it! And Stephen Elliott scores possibly the easiest goal of his career, and Preston have come from behind to take the lead. Dreadful error from Marcus Hanneman. He came for it, got nowhere near it. And the Lily Whites are 2-1 up. Second mistake of the game from Marcus Hanneman, who is normally so reliable. Stephen Elliott won't care. Preston have come from behind. They now lead by 2-1.
Hunt's delivery. Oh, it's there! BK at the near post. Definitely in shooting range. Here's Woods. Tipped over by Marcus Hanneman. Good looking cross. Goalkeeper and defender got in each other's way there. BK and Hanneman. It comes out to Coppinger. Oh, it's there! Jos van Nieuwstad has levelled things for Doncaster Rovers. Reading paying for all those missed chances. It's 1-1 here with 17 minutes to go. Harper swings it in. There's Kevin Doyle. Reading have done it. 2 goals in 2 minutes. And Kevin Doyle's 9th goal of the season has restored the Royals' lead. It's Reading 2, Doncaster 1.
They have a job on here at the Medeski Stadium, where Reading have won 6 out of 6, scoring 21, conceding just 4 goals. We're live on Sky Sports 1 and HD1 channel 408. And what a start for the new caretaker manager of QPR, Gareth Ainsworth.
Turmoil QPR, all settled for Reading. They're unchanged for the 6th successive game. Kevin Doyle, top scorer in the championship, and all 9 have been scored here. Brothers Stephen and Noel Hunt have been in sparkling form with 6 goals apiece, while 19-year-old midfield man Jem Karachan has emerged to keep one of Reading's regulars, James Harper, out of the side. Gareth Ainsworth only knew he'd be in charge for this game yesterday morning when news broke of Ian Dowie's sacking, and he's gambled in attack, dropping top scorer Dexter Blackstock and giving 20-year-old Italian Samuel Di Calamini his first league start, and recalling the ex-Real Madrid youngster Daniel Parejo. Ledgett Wood and Connolly get the jobs at fullback, with Ramage injured and Delaney left out. James Harper still battling to get back his place for Reading. He's on the bench. QPR for the first time feature the former Roma and Italy star Damiano Tomasi, one of those characters who's been linked with the manager's job. This is Bujaki. Back to Martin Rowlands. Took a little flick there for a corner kick for QPR, who have changed formation today.
Well, he has got a decent shot in him, Martin Rowlands. We've seen him score a free kick away at Norwich. Their only away win this season. Very, very easy to defend against.
Stephen Hunt towards Karachan, who won the header. KB, this might sit down for a volley, it did, but maybe typical of Reading's work so far, it was tamely into the side netting.
Well, you likened Karachan to Muzzy Izzet, didn't you? And he burst forward from midfield exactly like Muzzy Izzet. And really, Jimmy Cabey, a bit more time to do a little bit better than that. Should be hitting the target from those kind of opportunities. Oh, we all keep waiting, don't we?
Good ball that from Connolly towards Di Calamini. Oh, it's not a bad effort. Don't think it was going in, but Hanneman didn't know that. He couldn't afford to take any chances.
Well, it's a good run, it's a good ball, and it's good strength he shows to hold off PK under those circumstances. Excellent And he gets a decent shot away at the end of this. It's curling in towards the goal. Not sure it would have gone in. Marcus Hanneman can't take any chances with that.
Chris Armstrong, the player who nearly gave up football to become a plumber a few years ago. So bad were his injury problems. It's good to say he's recovered fully. Doyle, lovely turn of pace. He's still there too. Doyle, classy stuff. Oh, and he nearly either curled that in or set it up for Noel Hunt with a header. In the end, neither quite happened for Reading.
Well, he's complaining after the event that his shirt was being pulled, and I think it may well have been, but he does ever so well. And this is the best moment of the match so far for Reading. The boys at the far post. Once Kevin Doyle cuts in here, and they know he's going to put that in. It's a decent ball in, and it's just a whisker away from Noel Hunt, who gets very, very close to getting on the end of that. You can see it's just curling away from Noel Hunt. Good football.
Stephen Hunt. KB helped it on, bouncing around dangerously in there, and Cherney making a good save from Noel Hunt. Steve Coppell may have given a mini rocket to his players at half-time. That's curling in. It's a good punch, though, by Cherney. Pressure stays on. Ball going down the line. Doyle can get a shot away. Ingemarsson's shot was blocked. And then Karacan wide. Well, Parejo to take it. It seemed to move in the air. Hanneman looked a little discomforted for a while, but caught it okay.
Well, Hanneman looked like he was going to dive to his right, and then the ball seemed to straighten up.
Rowlands decides to go for it. Now then, Bujaki tempted, good effort. Hanneman at the second attempt, and then Blackstock really clattered into him.
Well, he's got every right. It's an innocent collision. But what about the strike here from Buzaki? Very, very two-footed player. That's a really true strike.
Doyle. Rosinia towards Noel Hunt. Oh, he won the header, and he won it well. And he thinks he headed it down, and he's thinking 9 times out of 10 that would have been a goal. It wasn't.
Well, how well does he rise there? He's only a little fella, but he soars above Legion Wood. So far.
Parejo, oh, great vision. Found Lee Cook. Cook's effort, Hanneman again. I sensed it might have just swerved a little. Just about at the 3/4 point of this game. In towards Blackstock! And Hanneman grabs it. That's a funny looking 10 yards. He's got a bit of a case there. It is Stephen Hunt. He's got it over that wall, and it's wide.
Well, I think Cherney, he goes to his left, but he looks very confident that this is going wide. It starts just about on line with a post and curls away. It's a decent effort. Cherney in control of that. Gets the elevation to get it up and over. Cherney was in control there.
Yet another Reading corner kick. And Binkey! Oh, my goodness me, he was so close there. It seemed that way anyway.
Well, we knew he'd be a threat. Checks his run there, rises majestically. He just can't quite guide that back on target. He's so close. He has to crane his neck to get that ball back anywhere near the goal, and that's how close that was. It's a super effort.
6 minutes left, and Reading nick it here. Oh, Cissé's header punched away by Cherney.
Well, there's 2 pieces of brilliant here. To get the header on target from there, when the ball's behind you, is excellent. And Cherney, well done for being alert.
It's another Reading corner. Parejo got it away, was back in by Harper. That won't be a problem. Hunt's got one in, though, anyway. Was well defended. Rosinia tries to feed it out wide to Cissé. Here's Liam Rosinia again. Lucky break in his favour. Doyle with a header! Didn't quite get enough on it. Stephen Hunt. And you just wondered for a moment there whether Reading were going to snatch it. And it's going to be a long throw. Can Reading steal it with almost the last touch? They cannot. Their 100% home record has gone, and Gareth Ainsworth has masterminded Queen's Park Rangers to a very, very useful point in his first game as caretaker manager.
BK back to Armstrong. Joined them from Sheffield United. Good header though, won by Alexander. Blake take it down. It's a great touch, finds Elliott. Elliott thought about the early ball, but he's on a run. Can he make his way through the middle? Picks out Blake. What can Blake do here? Oh, what a goal! What a class finish from Robbie Blake! Oh, what a finish! Robbie Blake!
Kept on by Doyle. Wilson's there for Bristol City. Still a loose ball, however. Doyle runs forward. Tracked by Fontaine. And tucks the ball away to give Reading the lead. Cisse continues his run. All unable to stop him. Has Noel Hunt this time outside. And Reading go 2 up. Almost immediately after the kick-off for the first goal. Picked up by Doyle. Squeezes it forward. Picked up by Noel Hunt. A ricochet and a great save by Adriano Basso. Here's Rossini. Kebe works it to the right-hand side. Fontaine loses out to Kebe. Chance here for Reading. Slots it across to face a goal. And a loose ball knocked home by Kevin Doyle. And City begin the second half in the worst possible fashion. Doyle keeping it in play at the other end of the ground. Rossini finding Kebe. Kebe out to Cisse. Cisse rifles it towards goal, and what a shot from the Mali international. And that, even at this early stage, looks like game, set and match. Here's Noble. McKindo. There's a chance there, half chance for Stern John. That's well defended by Reading in the end. Zakindi. Back to Brady Orr. And Stern John turns it into the net.
Meet Reading's latest signing. He's worth millions and millions. Kevin Doyle put pen to paper on a new 3-year contract this week to, in his words, put an end to the rumours ahead of the January transfer window. He's faced Derby County on 4 occasions in Reading colours and scored every time. Doyle lines up against them once more in an unchanged Reading team. Steve Coppell has the likes of Marek Matejowski, Michael Dubry and Graham Murty all at various stages of recovery from injury, so competition for places is rising in tune with their promotion challenge. Coppell believes Derby will emerge as strong promotion contenders too. Martin Albrechtsen is the man charged with taming Doyle today, only his second game since the end of September because of injury. He replaces the stricken Dean Leacock. 1 or 2 difficult choices from Paul Jewell. Bywater ahead of Carroll in goal, Teal ahead of Barazit on the right, and Tito Villa in preference to Nathan Ellington in attack. Villa scored a Carling Cup hat-trick just last week. Last time these two met, Reading won 4-0 and were relegated by the end of the day. Both are recovering from the trauma of dropping out of the top flight. Both would be on everybody's list of promotion contenders. It's taken by Stephen Hunt, and it's swinging and it's gone in off a Derby defender, I think now. Referee's disallowed it. Clearly felt there was a bit of shirt pulling going on there. It's no goal. Scott Matheson knows what he saw. And I think he spared somebody's blushes there. Well, Derby County were victims of what they thought was a poor refereeing decision at the end of last weekend's league game against Nottingham Forest. Beneficiaries of a decision this time, and oddly enough it was Villa again who scored an own goal against Forest, who turned it past his own keeper. Stephen Hunt takes. It's towards Noel Hunt! Brothers in arms, and Reading lead. Younger brother heads in the older brother's corner kick, but it was a beautifully taken goal.
He scored on his debut for Reading back in August, and he's carried on scoring since. 8 now. Stewart. Villa. Collins. Stewart has gone on. Intercepted by BK. Senior throws it forward immediately, trying to make the most of them. And Doyle's pace. Ooh, that's awkward for Bywater. He didn't want that. Doyle's underneath it. Rid the challenge from Nyatanga. Trying to play it in to Harper. Connolly away. Only as far as Kebe. Now Noel Hunt. 3 to aim for. Harper's there! Well, it hit Bywater as much as anything. Get the ball wide, get it into the box, good crosses. Reading posing constant goal threat. Noel Hunt, the scorer of the first goal, almost setting up a second for the skipper, James Harper. Hunt, come by Rosinia, driven in towards Stephen Hunt. Cisse might catch up with it. Needed Allison there. He could have pulled it back to Stephen Hunt, he was in the clear. Another ball in from the flank. Another corner one. Stephen Hunt takes. Doyle waiting beyond the far post. It's gone out. It won't count. Noel Hunt side-footed it in. But the linesman's flag was up very quickly. He felt the ball had drifted out of play before Kevin Doyle headed it back across goal. Well, it doesn't go out there. Now, what happens to it here? Touch and go that, you know. Touch and go, but the linesman had the view, better view than we've got. It's a couple of goals that Reading have had ruled out marginally. Yeah. Dispossessed by Armstrong, but it'll run for Teal. It's got Holtz waiting in the centre, and now Commons with a real chance for Derby. Chris Commons blew it. Kept his composure initially, kept it beautifully. Noel Hunt's done really well. Doyle in pursuit, trying to get away from Davis, who did just about enough. Stewart away. Commons helping it on. Armstrong. Stephen Hunt. Here come Reading again down the other flank. Armstrong shrugging off Barazit. Crossed in. Doyle! It's him again! 50 goals for Reading for Kevin Doyle. And once again, Derby County's nemesis scores against them. 50 goals in 137 matches. And in the week that he pledged his future to the club, he gobbles up his 12th goal of the season from an excellent Armstrong cross. 5 times he's faced Derby County now for Reading. And in each game, Kevin Doyle has found the net. And that could make all the difference with a quarter of the match to go now. Reading have some breathing space.
In front, Jimmy!
Armstrong. In towards Cisse. Stewart helping it away. Doyle. Oh, it's both a goal! What a goal! What a goal that is from Kevin Doyle. Something out of nothing. It wasn't a chance. That is Premier League finishing from Kevin Doyle. That is why he has been coveted by several Premier League clubs. That is why Reading are so delighted that he stayed put. Well, they've averaged 3 goals a game at the Medeski this season, and they're up to average. But how did Kevin Doyle score from there? Brilliant. Held off Davis. Shortest of back lifts, most accurate of finishes. Bywater, the goalkeeper, didn't even know it had happened.
Brings the throw in a more advanced position. Hunt takes quickly to Kevin Doyle. Dances past 2 challenges. Neatly lead off to Khalifa Cisse to score within 5 minutes. Wonderful run from Kevin Doyle. 3 Sheffield United players around him. He still managed to spot the pass of Cisse. Stephen Hunt tees it up, almost Johnny Wilkinson-esque as he stands over the ball. Delivers the free kick. Oh, and it's nodded home, and it's 2-0 to Reading. Just a minute before the break, and this time it's Kevin Doyle on the score sheet. Well, the Irish international made the first goal. He finished the second, got in behind the defence and stooped to head home. 14 goals for the season now. It makes him the Championship's top goal scorer. That pass was a bit wayward. Sheffield United a chance to come forwards. Stokes crosses with his right foot. It's a teasing one as well, and it comes back off the post, and how on earth did they put that one wide? Bounces, I think, off the shoulder of a Reading player. Chance here for another opportunity. Henderson, it's deflected. Hanneman does enough just to get his body in the way of it.
And Reading can break. There's plenty of men forward. Stephen Hunt's to his left. Good ball, won't get there though. Could still be a chance for Kevin Doyle. This is dangerous into Stephen Hunt. Can he finish? Southampton get men back. Cleared off the line, brilliant. But Noel Hunt is very unlucky. Southampton take it quickly. He'll go from distance too. Comfortable enough for Marcus Hanneman. They've really played well so far this afternoon. Southampton, good ball into the box. Real chance. He's fallen over. There's Bradley Wright-Phillips. And that should have been 1-0. Excellent performance this from the side. Struggling at the bottom of the table. You wouldn't know it on this display so far. Good ball into the box. Out goes Bradley Wright-Phillips. And there's the lead for Southampton. And they've stunned the Medeski Stadium. Bradley Wright-Phillips scores the opening goal of the game. Hanneman thought about coming and didn't. Wright-Phillips said thank you very much. That's been a wonderful display this from Southampton. And they're still after more as well. Out comes Hanneman, real chance. Was that a foul? No, says the referee. Contentious moment, that for sure. Lovely football they've played so well this afternoon. Good effort from distance once more. Hanneman down to save. Bradley Wright-Phillips with a follow-up. Oh, brilliant goalkeeping. Whistle had gone anyway. Lovely football. Here's the goal scorer, Wright-Phillips, shapes to shoot. Oh, brilliant goal! Southampton are 2 up, and Reading, who have only dropped 2 points here at the Medeski Stadium all season, are surely going to drop 3 more this afternoon now. Excellent finish from Wright-Phillips, his second, Southampton's second. Really have been shocked by this performance of Reading. Steve Coppell's men, who are in such brilliant form. Might be a chance for Doyle. Good save. Could be a chance for Kevin though. And Reading are back in it. Kelvin Davis could only parry Doyle's shot. That man, Jimmy Kevy, scores. And Reading, oh, can they rescue themselves? Don't really deserve anything this afternoon, but Reading have quality. They are running out of time. Here's Doyle. Lovely run, good ball in, real chance! It's gone in! It won't count, he's offside. Celebrations cut short, it remains 2-1 to Southampton.
Kennedy wins the header. Oh, and then a brilliant challenge. Bothroyd. Chopra takes over. There's Wayne Routledge. Chance here. Goal for Cardiff! Wayne Routledge with a great finish to give Cardiff the lead. 9 minutes on the clock. Good ball from Doyle. And Kebe's got the beating of Kuminges. There's Doyle. Equaliser for Reading. Kevin Doyle with the finish. Great piece of counter-attacking play by the away side. Finished off by Doyle. Cardiff 1, Reading 1. One ball towards Chopra. BK wins it. Free kick to Cardiff. Oh, it's a red card for Andre Biquet. Reading down to 10 with just half an hour gone. There's McCormack. Oh, dreadful slice there. It might let in Chopra. Hanneman is there and he's brought him down. It must be a penalty. And it is. Not good goalkeeping from Marcus Hanneman. McCormack scores for Cardiff. 5 minutes before half time. And City retake the lead thanks to Ross McCormack's penalty. There's Stephen Hunt. Good patient build up by Reading. Ingemarson. Back to Hunt. Oh, it's there! Gunnarsson with the equaliser. This was a fabulous first time strike. And I think you have to say that Reading deserved that.
Reading's pursuit of the Championship's top 2 continues at home, where the goals have been flowing at almost 3 a game. Inconsistencies hampered Coventry's progress, but on the road they are finding their feet at last.
Oh, it's in! And it's nothing more than Coventry have deserved.
And having won at Birmingham live on Sky, Coventry come here looking for a 3rd straight away win. Well, Reading fans have been spoilt so far. They'll have enjoyed the fact the Wolves-Birmingham match was drawn on Saturday, so now they can close the gap. Live from the Coca-Cola Championship, it's Reading-Coventry at the Medeski Stadium on Sky Sports 1 and in high-definition HD1, as ever, channel 408.
Well, he had named the same side for the last 6 matches, but Steve Coppell forced into a change tonight. Michael Dubry starts his first league game of the season. Andre Biquet starts his ban for that red card against Cardiff. Elsewhere, as you were, Marcus Hanneman, the ever-present American, plays his 300th match in English football. At the other end, the Championship's top scorer, Kevin Doyle, looks to add to his prodigious tally so far, 15 in his last 16 games. Coventry's right-back position seems to be carrying a bit of a curse. They lost both Stephen Wright and Isaac Osborne through injury last time out, so Chris Coleman brings the club's longest-serving player, Marcus Hall, in from the fringes to start his first game since August in a slightly changed formation. Elsewhere, Jay Tabb, over the virus, had seen him miss the last couple of matches. He returns to the starting lineup, as does Aron Gunnarsson, the teenage Icelandic midfielder, who'll play a wing-back role tonight. Watch out for his long throws. Continuity on the bench for Reading. It's the same substitutes for them as last time out, and dropping down to the Coventry bench from the side last time out, Michael Mifsud and Robbie Simpson. Well, it's not often, due to the form of Birmingham City and Wolves, that Reading have been able to have an opportunity to close the gap. That's just what they've got here tonight, though. If they can see off Coventry, who've saved their best for their travels in recent weeks. It will not be routine for the Royals, you feel. Harper. Set up play. Harper's found a little bit of space on the edge of the Coventry City box. Hoisted well over by Liam Rossigna.
I think that consistency of player, I think it really does help you as a team.
Gunnarsson forward, early ball in, Jay Tabb comes forward and decides to take it on. Diluted by the result here and the performance. Pretty much everyone associated with Reading agreeing that Southampton were good value for the 3 points. Pretty much everyone associated with Reading agreeing they've got something to put right here. Hunt, what a good ball in that is! And could so easily have been 1-0, and his brother found the target.
Well, what a ball that is, from brother to brother. When he gets this, Stephen, he looks up and he sees his brother Noel in the box. It's a brilliant ball in. Little Noel Hunt just can't quite get enough height on his jump to direct that ball back and onto target, but fantastic cross by Stephen Hunt. As I say, it's a new formation. Might have been playing it for a while.
Clinton Morrison fouled on the edge of the box by Michael Dubry.
don't really know what Michael Dubry's complaining about here. As this ball's chipped in, Morrison gets his body in, Dubry comes right through the back of him. Gives the referee absolutely no chance. It's good striking play. He's nudged him in the back. Can't see any complaints there. Would have had Coventry City watched, so they'll know what he's capable of.
Fox will take it, and Fox will score another beauty. He just can't stop at the moment, Danny Fox, and Coventry lead at the Medeski.
Well, I tell you what, that is an absolute carbon copy of his late equalising goal against Swansea City. I said that Reading would have had him watched, and Marcus Hanneman may have expected this. He's a long way over, but that is unstoppable. Marcus Hanneman is absolutely nowhere near that ball. It's as good a free kick as you are likely to see. And Coventry, for all the discipline, they've got their lead, and look what it means.
Well, Danny Fox spots this one out. Jay Tabb as well standing over it. Surely he can't conjure something from here. More likely he'll use the supporting cast. Elliot Ward, Scott Dan. Hit him really well, but Hanneman had come out.
The flag went up anyway from the assistant. He was going to give offside, but no need.
Keeby now. Doyle. Rosinia. Plenty of white shirts in the box. Noel Hunt deflected and in. Well, a little slice of luck for Reading and an equalising goal for Reading. Noel Hunt will claim that one, but the scoreline 1-1, no doubt about that.
I'm not sure about the celebrations, but he won't care, Noel Hunt. Westwood left helpless, to be honest with you. And this is when you do need a slice of fortune. Reading get it. Not sure they've deserved it. It's a decent ball in. He finds himself free. And ironically, it comes off Danny Fox. As Rosinia plays this in, little deflection. Just clips the back and loops up. Westwood has already dived. As you're going to see here, he's on the floor and he's got absolutely no chance. And if you're Coventry, you're going to feel a bit hard done by. But if you're Reading, you really don't care.
Just under 6 minutes they led for by that wonderful free kick from Danny Fox. That's a loose clearance by Westwood. Cisse, in comes Stephen Hunt. He can get another one, but he's put it wide.
What an opportunity. He has been in the goals. Stephen Hunt, goal-scoring midfielder. I'll tell you what, it's a poor clearance, and Westwood will be breathing a sigh of relief as this ball gets flicked through to Stephen Hunt. You really fancy him, but never quite gets the ball fully under control. Just gets a little close to it. He's trying to slot it into the corner.
Rosinia. Great run from Jimmy Keeby here. Could open things up again. The comeback for Cisse, and a really well-worked goal from Reading, and they lead. They've turned it around here at the Medeski.
Well, I'll tell you what, if the first goal owed a huge amount to luck, nothing lucky about this. Look at Liam Rosinia, spots the run of Jimmy Keeby, and he does ever so well. He takes a touch and he pulls it back into an area where he expects midfielders to be arriving. And Khalifa Cisse doesn't disappoint him. He arrives right on cue. He pulls it back to the penalty spot. And this is a calm finish into the corner. Westwood, no chance.
He's got the chairman on his feet. He has got Khalifa Cisse, his first goal here at the Medeski. A double whammy. And Steve Copples, well, you wouldn't know, but decided to turn it around looking at his expression, would you? But I'm sure he's happy somewhere in there. Quinton Morrison. Gunnarsson, little touch by Tabb. Armstrong, it's come for Morrison. Didn't quite catch it as he might have hoped. Dubry saunters forward without a goal for 3 years. One of the Reading options in the box. Noel Hunt as well. Dubry! Well, he met it, but he couldn't find a way past Eastwood.
Well, I tell you what, if he hasn't scored for 3 years, he should be changing that here.
Fox. So a straight chase here between Armstrong and Morrison. Armstrong does just what's required of him.
It's good defending just for a split second there. You fancied Clinton Morrison to get on the end of that. Armstrong having none of it.
Well, Stephen Hunt will get on the end of this one for Reading. Looks for Doyle, looks for his brother and finds him. It's Noel Hunt again and Reading extend their lead. Surely now that will be enough to put the Coventry threat to bed.
Well, Noel Hunt gets his second one, and again, right place at the right time. Congratulations, brother, says Stephen. He's made this one for him. Again, it's good running from that midfield in behind Coventry City, and then he uses his pace. That's a good touch, gets his body across. He's looking for his brother, but again, Marcus Hall, a little bit unfortunate. Gets the ball stuck in between his legs, and Noel Hunt on hand for what's going to be the easiest goal he's ever going to score. Marcus Hall had a problem there, facing his own goal, in the middle of his own goal. Couldn't get a swing at it, in danger of scoring an own goal.
Adventurous run from Armstrong.
They're playing with a bit of a swagger now, aren't they, Reading?
Doyle, he won't want to miss out on the act, that's for sure. Another bustling run from Stephen Hunt. Looks to have touched that one though.
Was he admiring her hair? Saying he wished he had hers? She's putting it back in place.
Yeah. She's had it done today. Well, from Reading's perspective, it's a very good night's work. For the first time this season, they've gone behind and come back to win a match. And they've done it largely courtesy of the goals of Noel Hunt. A little bit of luck with the first one in the first half to cancel out Danny Fox's free kick, but after that Reading turned it on. Cissé's second, and the second in the second half for Noel Hunt ensures that Reading and Steve Coppell have the 3 points to keep them well in touch at the top. Reading 3, Coventry City 1.
Noel, many congratulations on the 3 points. How crucial are they at this stage?
Yeah, it was a big ask for us tonight. We had a bad result here last week and we wanted to make that right, so going a goal down, you know, we showed real character to come back, and it was a good 3 points for us.
Touch of good fortune about your first goal, but as a striker, is it just a case of being in the right place at the right time?
Yeah, you know, we've been told the areas to hit, you know, and with the delivery from the likes of Rosie and Jimmy and Stephen, you know, it's great for us, the strikers, to have these kind of players in our team. And, you know, a little bit fortunate, I think it was going to go in anyway, but, you know, the little touch helped it over the keeper, thank God.
Liam Rosenior, your colleague, had a hand in 2 goals tonight. What credit does he deserve?
Yeah, he's been brilliant all season, you know. I think he's the best fullback in the league, you know. He's up and down and he's a great defender, so it's massive for us to have him in the club, you know, and as tonight proved, 2 great balls, and, you know, thankfully we got 2 goals out of it.
Well, let's grab a quick word with Liam. You went behind early on. Coventry were the better side early on. Were you always confident that you could hit back?
Yeah, definitely. You know, Coventry deserve credit for the first half. My old manager, Chris Coleman, he always likes us to get the ball down and pass it, and it was the same with Coventry today. But we kept our shape. I think last week we were a bit ragged, but we kept our 2 banks of 4 and we were solid. And with the quality we've got going forward, we're always going to score goals here.
It was hard earned. You know, we were playing against a team who were comfortable in possession, who adopted a shape against us, which was, you know, on occasion hard for us to deal with. But you know, our players worked hard. They went a goal down, a terrific free kick from the left back, and from there we came on a bit of a game. And, you know, our players who can create started creating a little bit of fortune, I think, with the first goal. But once we were back in it, you know, I thought we were always good value.
That's double figures now for Noel Hunt. How important a part is he playing in your campaign?
Well, they all are. You know, they all depend on each other. You know, we can only be effective as a team, and the team's only as strong as its weakest link. And Noel's had a few little niggly injuries, and you know, like all strikers, he survives on goals, and those tonight will really boost him and get him ready for what is a very, very jammed and competitive December for all the teams in this division.
Chances perhaps for Reading to assert some pressure. Kirby appeared to raise his arm there. Jamal Campbell-Rice is leading the protest from Barnsley. If the referee's not careful here, you could have a melee. It's Jimmy Cabey, it's a red card. Stephen Hunt to whip this in from Reading. Delivers such a brilliant set piece. That's an equally fantastic save. You wouldn't know they had 10 men. Souza, he's under pressure here from Doyle. He's conceded it in a really dangerous position. Here's Gunnarsson for Reading. There's the lead. And what on earth was Dennis Souza thinking of? The travelling supporter in raptures. It's a lovely finish from Gunnarsson.
Reading looking for the breakthrough here. The initial kick is blocked by Hamill. This is Matejovski. Decent little ball in here for Henry. Then loops straight up in the air. Oh, it's a terrible tangle of bodies, but Ingimarsson makes something from it. And on 27 minutes, Eva Ingimarsson scores for Reading. 1-0. Matejovski. Oh, Lee Hendry's in a bit high here, and the referee will certainly produce a card. Oh, it's a red one. It's a red card for Lee Hendry. Well, on first viewing, I think that's a bit harsh from referee Singh. His boot is high. He made a bit of it. Hunt, the Irish international. Oh, teasing his way into the area all too easily. Pulls the ball back in here. Chance for Gunnarsson. Fine stop from Paul Rahubka. Excellent save from Rahubka, flinging himself to keep that one out. The long chase is on here, and it's Taylor Fletcher angles it home, but the flag is raised. He was not to know that. Quick and short from Armstrong. Hunt. Matejovski. Oh, it's a lovely ball back into Armstrong here. Terrible challenge. Keith Southern has given away a penalty. Absolutely no doubt, but look at this. Who's going to take it? Long or Hunt? Doesn't matter who, it's definitely a penalty kick. No doubt about that. And eventually it's sorted out, and it will be Hunt to make it 2. Oh, what a save! Well, what a season Rahubka's having as well here. Keeps it to 1-0, and that's important.
Here's Croft, who scored the winner 6 days ago in the East Anglian derby. It's nice football from Norwich City. Might be a chance in the middle. He lost his footing at the vital moments. That perhaps should have been 1-0. Really is a sticky pitch this here at the Medeski. Plenty of rugby union played on it. Perhaps that is causing the problem. Here's Croft, he's done really well. The Norwich right wing, a great ball into the box must be! And how on earth has Pattinson missed? That really should have been 1-0 to Glenn Roeder's team. Great ball in from that man, Lee Croft. Picked him out perfectly. He should have scored. Launched upfield. Can Reading get back to their fluid self? They've not really been allowed to so far this afternoon. It's a good ball in from Hunt. Might be a chance in the box. It's poor defending. There's Harper. He's missed the target. And James Harper, we all know, he's normally an excellent finisher. I think he'll be extremely disappointed not to at least hit the target there. Here's Hunt, beginning to really pull the strings now. And Doherty's made a real mess of that. Was that handball? It was, says the referee. Well, it seems a little bit harsh, but the Norwich City captain, Mark Fotheringham, has conceded a penalty, and Reading finally get the opportunity they wanted to open the lead. It does strike his arm, but surely that's a push in the back from Shane Long.
David Marshall has on his CV a penalty save from Ronaldinho. Stephen Hunt missed a penalty on Tuesday night here against Blackpool. That one didn't matter, this one might. Probably for the points. Just! Those are the margins. Stephen Hunt might just have won it for Reading. He caught the goalkeeper's fingertips, he caught the post, but he caught the net. And Reading are 6 minutes away from a third consecutive 1-0 win. Hunt. Henry. Header from Long. That does James Henry's chase and cross, and Shane Long's leap and deft header. Reading have 2 goals in little more than a minute, and they have 3 points for the 4th game running.
Christmas is coming and the championship's taking shape. Wolves are top of the tree, but barely a bauble separates the next 2 who meet here today. City are getting serious. They've cancelled their Christmas party, the players that is, and they can send out a message to their promotion rivals here today. But Reading are hot on their heels and can leapfrog the Blues into 2nd for the first time since September, and they are back in form. In the Coca-Cola Championship, it's 2nd against 3rd. Birmingham City, who've won their last 3 at home, against a Reading side who won their last 4 matches. We're live from St Andrews on Sky Sports 1 and in high definition on HD1 channel 408. And a big boost for Birmingham today. James McFadden and Seb Larsson both returning from groin injuries. And a change up front as well. Cameron Jerome is a new partner for Kevin Phillips, starting his first in 9 games. They'll be trying to find a way past Reading's Australian keeper Adam Federici, who starts just his 2nd game, his 2nd in a row as well for Reading. And Steve Coppell's put great faith in youth as well in James Henry, 19 years old, who starts on the right-hand side of midfield for them today.
Steve, you went to Wolves earlier this season and won 3-0. How do you feel this challenge is going to compare?
Well, I know that's not going to help us today. It seems like an awful long time ago, and we're playing against a team. I think all the top 3 teams, last 6 games, have got more or less the same record. So it's all to play for. We know we're going to have to play well to get any kind of result here, but we have a determination to do that.
Adam Federici started his first league game for you in goal last week, kept a clean sheet, but how tough a test does he face here today, do you feel?
Well, we all do. It's not a question of singling any one player out. You know, we've already stated many times we have a lot of confidence in Adam. He's a good goalkeeper. He's been a solid understudy to Marcus for many years. This is his chance, and he sees it as that, and he's determined to grab hold of it. But you know, it's not just reliant on one man. It's everyone playing a part today.
Well, there's a pre-Christmas bonus for Alex McLeish in his team today with the return to fitness of both Sebastian Larsson and James McFadden. Larsson's back from a groin strain for the 100th league game of his career. McFadden had a similar problem and has missed the last 3. There are 4 personnel changes after the late defeat at Preston, with Stuart Parnaby in a defence from which Nicky Hunt's been dropped and Liam Ridgewell suspended. Cameron Jerome reaches 100 games for Birmingham on his return to the front line. Steve Coppell makes the 1 change from the team that beat Norwich last week. Youngster James Henry is starting only his 2nd league game for the club, but is a natural wide man. The defence has looked secure with no goals conceded in over 5.5 hours, so Michael Dewberry keeps his place despite Andre Biquet's return to fitness. And there's another chance for the Australian goalkeeper Adam Federici, with first choice Marcus Hanneman, a frustrated injury victim. There are the substitutes, Marek Matejowski there for Reading on his 27th birthday, while goalkeeper Mikael Andersson, who turned 23 days ago, is just back from a 1-match emergency loan at Brentford. Well, the crowd being wound up to greet the team that they hope can make an immediate bounce back to the Premier League, something that Reading themselves are aiming for as well. No doubt about it, this is a crunch fixture in the context of this season. Birmingham with just 4 defeats on their record this season, but they've drawn too many games in terms of keeping up the pace with Wolves. Reading have lost 5 matches already during the course of this campaign. Played in by Armstrong towards Ingemarson. The layup was aimed for Stephen Hunt. And Stephen Hunt still in there, battling doggedly. So too is Noel Hunt. He's taken down by McFadden. Gives away a free kick in a dangerous position. Noel Hunt, magnificent, absolutely unstoppable.
Well, that is first class, absolutely first class, because he takes a really straight run-up when players are going to bend the ball into that corner, they normally come from the side of the ball, but look, pretty straight run up. And he gets just the perfect elevation. It just clears the Birmingham wall, and because of the height of it and trajectory of it, there's a lot of pace on this ball, and that is the reason that Mike Taylor can't get across and keep that ball out. Absolutely first class.
Well, the 4 defeats that Birmingham have suffered this season have been by a single goal, including that one at Preston last week. But Reading, rampant here, Doyle with a cross. It's Henry following up. He's got Cisse to pull it back. Across to Stephen Hunt, misses. And Kevin Doyle was following up, not far behind, but he couldn't convert either. Larson was free, but he looked more ambitiously for McFadden, and it was Rossignol who cut it out. There's Carsley. Jerome looking for the knock-on. Phillips may have been offside anyway. Jerome has a crack.
Well, it's nice and positive, isn't it, from Cameron Jerome?
Murphy. Now Phillips. Good efforts. Federici holds on.
Well, that's what he's all about, Kevin Phillips. Back to goal, half a yard, gets the strike away, and once again hits the target. The most important thing as a striker.
Well, they needed that, Birmingham. They've had to ride out a bit of a storm in the aftermath of the goal. Just looking to steady themselves here. Stephen Hunt proving an irritant to their defence, though, and it's Henry's cross. Doyle! Wonderful effort.
Well, it's great football. It's no surprise that Stephen Hunt and Kevin Doyle are in the thick of this. How acrobatic is Kevin Doyle to get a brilliant effort on target from there? And a yard either side of that. It's got such pace on it. Reading could be 2 up.
It's down to McFadden to produce. Right in on top of Federici, who hangs on. Cisse. Long, battling to get in front of Carsley. Here's Henry. Left Murphy trailing in his wake. Long challenging for it.
I think it comes off Parnaby in the end. Super break, isn't it?
Closed down by Carsley. Good determined play from Carsley. Can that set Birmingham on their way to a turning point here? Phillips! It has! The dog of war in the middle of the field, setting up the opportunity for the natural-born goal scorer that is Kevin Phillips.
Well, I'll tell you what, Khalifa Cisse is going to be having to apologise to his teammates. He dwelt on the ball and he's cost his teammates. He had an opportunity to lay it off. He dwelt. Carsley does what Carsley does. He gets in, forces the mistake, and from there on, it's about Kevin Phillips. But it's the movement ahead of him that creates the space. Dubry doesn't close him down, and that is the punishment for not closing Kevin Phillips down when he's 25 yards from goal and he's got a free strike. He will hit the target and he will find the corners, and that is a stunning, stunning strike. And his team are back in it, and by rights they shouldn't be. Khalifa Cisse had so much time to roll that ball off. He didn't spot Lee Carsley coming in on the blind side, and you can see how angry Steve Coppell is about that. Been so dominant for an hour.
Murphy. Phillips. Carsley lining up to have a go.
Well, he cracked a beauty in a way against Plymouth the other week, didn't he? It's been fresh in his mind. Noted for his goal scoring, Lee Carsley. I can't tell you what a big part in that goal he played, though.
The goal he scored at Plymouth was the last winner that Birmingham had. And after the defeat by Preston, it is important they get something out of this game. So another crucial contribution from Carsley, setting up Phillips. Still plenty of menace lurking within these Reading ranks as Hunt swings in another one. It's a brilliant header from Kevin Doyle. Beautifully flighted. And a fine finish to restore Reading's lead.
Well, he gets free. How does Kevin Doyle, 15-goal top scorer in the Championship, find all that room in a Birmingham City penalty area? Not really sure what that's about, but they don't care. Look at his marking, he just drifts away from Jaidi, and he knows exactly what he wants to do. The pace is on the ball, all he's got to do is help it on, and he knows he's going to cause Mike Taylor problems. It is so deliberate, it's untrue. It's a delicate little flick, and it finds the corner. 16 goals, and they didn't hang on to that point for long, Birmingham, did they?
Jaidi! And Kwasi was looking for the follow-up, but great stop.
Well, Birmingham, I think Dewberry slips, and that's what gives him the space, and it actually hits Cameron Jerome, does it? His own teammate as he heads this down. Is it Cameron Jerome's head? It is, and it bounces away from goal. And doesn't it make you wonder whether it's not your day when things like that happen?
Yes. Jerome pulls it across. It's Phillips!
Well, good stop. Brilliant all round, isn't it? Brilliant from Jerome. It's brilliant from Phillips, because it's the only place he can put this ball. And in the end, it's brilliant from Federici, and that's the first time we've had to say that this afternoon.
That will lift them above Birmingham and 4 points behind Wolves before their game this afternoon. Here's Marcus Bent, though, causing problems for Ingemarson, and he couldn't lift the header over the goalkeeper.
Well, you can see exactly what Marcus Bent is trying to do here. Once Ingemarson misses this, the alarm bells are ringing. He just can't quite get the power to get that up and over Federici.
Here's Long, now Harper. Here's Goodison. Doyle. Cisse's in there for the crossing, gets there! And surely finishes off Birmingham and takes Reading up to second in the table.
Well, it was his mistake, wasn't it, that conceded the equaliser. All forgotten now, isn't it? Khalifa Cisse gets his reward for being really a midfielder that's prepared to get in at the back post. But that's a brilliant cross from Kevin Doyle. Parnaby has got a static jump, and Cisse has got a run at this. But let's give credit to Doyle. He works it well. But Cisse's always favourite once the ball gets beyond Mike Taylor. Thinks about coming for it, doesn't he, the goalkeeper? Changes his mind. And Cisse, well, it's hard to see a way back from here for Birmingham.
Well, he knew what he wanted, and he got the result he wanted, Steve Coppell.
He headed that, didn't he?
He did. It's Quincy looking for Cameron Jerome. Across the face, and that was the chance to restore some life to Birmingham's hope. It's 5 wins out of 5 in December as Steve Coppell's Reading leapfrog Birmingham and goes second in the table. A joyous Noel thanks to Noel Hunt with the first despite concussion, and further goals from headers from Kevin Doyle and from Khalifa Cisse, atoning for his error which led to Birmingham's original equaliser. But it's a great victory this for Reading. Birmingham 1, Reading 3.
Well, Kevin, you went to Wolverhampton Wanderers and won. How does this result compare?
It's better, you know. Further into the season, that was early in the season, come here to go ahead of them as well coming into the new year. It's sweet because we've been behind them for a while now, so it's nice to catch them at last.
Is that important to you at this stage? It is only the halfway stage, but you are up to second.
Yeah, you know, there's half a season to go, but psychologically, coming into Christmas and playing them for the first time and have been ahead of us for so long, it means a lot to us, I'll tell you.
Now, congratulations on your goal, 16 overall, but you're first in 5 games. Were you getting a bit worried?
Not really, because we were winning. If we had been struggling and you know, not getting results, I'd been, I'm sure the manager would have started to get onto me, but it was nice to get back on the score sheet today.
Well, let's grab a very quick word with your fellow goal scorer, Khalifa Cisse. Yeah, congratulations on the goal, but the cross wasn't bad, was it?
Thank you. Yeah, cross was very bad, but
But tell us about Birmingham's equaliser, because really you lost the ball in the first place. So did your goal help make you feel a bit better about it?
Yeah. Helped me for my feel, because after the Birmingham game goal score, It's my fault because I lose the ball on midfield, and after that was very hard, very difficult for me. And after Kevin scored, my feel was better.
Great stuff. Well, it's just a hard place to come and play football. You know, Birmingham have been ahead of us in the league before today. And after 23 games, you're not there by accident. You know, they're a very committed squad. And I just thought we played well today. You know, defensively, didn't give much away. We were tight. And I always felt we were fairly dangerous going forward.
How significant would you say this result is, and what should your players take from it?
Zero significance, and take nothing from it. There's still an awful long way to go. You know, we got a good feeling now in the dressing room, don't get me wrong, but you know, we all appreciate that this is the marathon, the ultra marathon, and you know, if the last thing we want to be is seen as a good team in December. You know, we want to be seen as a good team and right up at the top end in May.
Steve, well done today.
Thank you very much.
Free kick to Cardiff City. Ledley tees it up, and it's not too far wide either. Hunt. No foul given. His shot beaten away by the goalkeeper. And Cardiff still don't clear their line. Shot comes in again from Harper. That's wide. Corner kick to the far post. Federici punches clear. Only as far as Ray. Gets it back out to Routledge on the right hand side. Lovely touch from Routledge to get past his man. Header comes in and it's tipped round the post. Ball pumped into the penalty area. Headed out to the edge of the box. Again, a game of head tennis in the Reading penalty area. Chopra gets away from his marker, and Michael Chopra gives Cardiff City the lead. Well, Reading didn't deal with the danger. He got away from his marker with 1 minute to go. Corner kick comes in, one last chance, header comes in, and it's scrambled home by the goalkeeper. And Reading equalise deep into stoppage time. Adam Federici, the Australian international goalkeeper, who's only playing because of injury to Marcus Hanneman, scores a fairy tale goal right at the death.
Fantastic, just sitting and watching and biting my time and being patient as I can. But obviously, you had to go out on loan this season, and to come straight back from a loan and get in the team. I mean, unfortunate circumstances, of course. No one wishes that on anyone. And Marcus has been a fantastic goalkeeper for many years, and you kind of left me sitting there wondering when I was going to get my chance, because he's just been so consistent over the years. And yes, it's just fantastic to be playing involved in such a great team.
Tell me about this arrow kick.
I love kicking the ball, and I learnt it at a young age, and just to hit it as low as possible. And I mean, when I was growing up, it caused a bit of chaos because I used to hit the defenders in the back of the head quite a few times, and I don't think the coaches I played with were very happy, but they always kept on at me to keep on doing it because they knew it worked when it came off.
Adam Federici's first league goal, I think it's safe to say the goalkeeper equalises for Reading in injury time.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Obviously, it's going to be a moment I'll never forget. Yeah, what can you say about that? I mean, it was a last gasp sort of thing. Everyone goes up, and goalkeeper in a box creates a bit of confusion, and no one knows who really pick up. And the ball just dropped, and I sprung off the ground in the first turret and couldn't miss, really. I used to love being a striker when I was younger than that, and didn't get in the goalkeeping until I was at least 14. So,
well, you have played up front in a pre-season friendly at Bromley. It's a while ago, but you scored in that one as well.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I think it was Aaron Brown that broke his leg, and I looked over, and all our substitutes had been made except for the goalkeeper. So before anyone could see, I ran inside and got changed and out of my goalkeeping stuff, and put on a player's kit, ran him back out, and the gaffer just looked at me and said, "Be careful." And yeah, last few minutes, and got a touch on the edge of the box and out of strike, and I scored a winner. But making a great save and having clean sheets is probably what makes me most happy, and winning games, and that's what I want to achieve.
It's been all Reading. They just can't find the way through here. Southampton are battling gamely. Doyle twisting and turning and gets the cross away. Here's Hunt on the far post, unselfishly pulls it back, and another chance goes begging. And maybe Southampton can get something at the other end. Oh, McGoldrick is all the way through here and slots the ball in. And from one end to the other, the home side take the lead completely against the run of play. McGoldrick, who'd hit the bar in the first half, makes no mistake when put clean through on goal. 16 minutes to go. Hunt drives the ball in towards Shane Long, and it's bundled over. Long's going to claim the goal. It's indecision in the box that's cost Southampton. Reading now pushing forward, and Doyle off the top of the crossbar. Could and probably should have won it. Grandstand finish at St Mary's. It looks like the points are going to be shared as Doyle wastes again.